It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's Ratings Day. AEW Dynamite didn't do very well this week, considering it is a go-home show. We will get into the number a little bit later, because we have lots of things to talk about today, but a go-home show getting this kind of number with all the competition gone, no Olympics, no basketball, no hockey, none of that. So we'll get into that, but first we've got to talk about many other things. A new wrestling company is making its way through, and we have some news on who's going to be the voice of that new wrestling company. Ricochet has officially signed with AEW, according to Fightful. We're going to talk about that. Hulk Hogan did something earlier this week that I'm going to briefly talk about, because I can't get into my full opinions, because if you know, you know. But we're going to start off with something I haven't even written down. We're going off the script. We're going to talk about Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, and the Wyatt Six. So, everyone said, how does this work in wrestling? Okay, how does the Wyatts work within wrestling? All this supernatural bullshit, even though we've not seen any supernatural stuff so far, right? Cornette and Brian Last seem to not want to give it a chance whatsoever. At all, right? Which pissed me off a bit, because I thought the 6-man tag they did was really good. Yeah, I noticed a few things, sure. All the guys being in the ring and the referee not really doing anything to get them out the ring was something I definitely noticed, and something that should be avoided. But apart from those little bits, I thought it was a great match, and it actually made me emotional watching the match, especially when Eric Rowan entered the ring. And honestly, I have never ever cared about anything Eric Rowan has done, okay? Now, this is because probably the way he's been used, and probably the way he looks, because to me, he looks like generic guy with beard, no personality, nothing of interest, okay? That's how I've always felt about Eric Rowan. Now, that's changed. I actually care about Eric Rowan because of this, which is great. But they had that 6-man tag. I liked it. I liked the entrance. It was all very Bray, right? I said before they debuted that they shouldn't make it about Bray. However, I'm going to retract on that, because they have been making it about Bray, and it's worked. It's worked. I like it. But Uncle Howdy will go one-on-one with Chad Gable on Raw, or as Michael Cole calls him, Gabble. Yeah, he called Gable Gabble in that 6-man tag. Chad Gable will be going one-on-one with Uncle Howdy, not Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy. So I assume he'll be wearing the mask and all that stuff. So, will this one work is the question, and I personally think it will. I think Triple H sees the concerns from people like Cornette, and is actively rectifying those concerns, because that 6-man tag was good. They didn't wrestle in masks. They actually sold moves. They actually did good moves. It was a good match, apart from obviously a few little bits here and there that I didn't like, that Cornette picked on and made that the whole thing about his review, right? But hopefully this is going to be a good match. Hopefully this can show people that Uncle Howdy isn't just some nonsense, right? And that this can be taken seriously, okay? Now, Nikki Cross, I was willing to give her a chance in all of this. And I'm not sold so far on Nikki Cross. Everyone else, I'm happy with. Nikki Cross, I ain't so sure. So hopefully, all that can go smoothly, and excuse me, and it can show people like Cornette that this can work, because I like Cornette, but he pisses me off with this one. He does. I get his taking the piss out of the videotape vignettes, right? I get that. But when you get this match and you take one or two things that you didn't like and say it's a bad match, no. There's no. Next, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan said a few days ago that he wants to body slam Kamala Harris, and he said, how? Because she claims that she's Indian. Now, personally, I when she said she's Indian, I thought you mean the country India, not Native American. Okay, there's another Indian thing, you know what I mean? But I can't get too deep into my opinion, because my opinion doesn't align with everybody else's opinion. So I am being silenced in a way. What I will say is, all the people that covered this, or the majority of the people that covered this, don't know what the fuck they're talking about, don't know anything about politics, okay, and spew what the current trend is, right? I saw people, certain channels, talking about this in a certain way, without actually thinking about context, okay? Now, unfortunately, I can't add the context right here, right now. If it was, say, a month ago, I would happily sit here and do this, but I don't want to repeat myself. There's reasons I can't do that. I don't want to get a knock on the door from the police. My freedom of speech has been limited severely. So, who cares? Really, who cares? Who cares if Hulk Hogan did that? I wouldn't call it racist, honestly, right? It's a joke. It is a joke. What is wrong with having a fucking joke? Okay? For example, if someone was to call me a honky cracker whatever, right, in a joking way with no malicious intent, I would laugh, because I'm not soft, okay? If I have a black friend, which I don't, unfortunately, because my area is mostly white, and he was comfortable with me making racist jokes in a light-hearted way, I would do it, because it is a joke, it's banter, right? Now, Hulk Hogan doesn't like Kamala Harris. However, you could see that there's no maliciousness within what he said. It is a joke. Learn to take a fucking joke, people. That's all I'm going to say. Learn to take a fucking joke, because what sort of world are we living in where we just can't take jokes anymore, right? When you've got all these channels talking about what Hulk Hogan said, oh my god, he's racist. Now, he is racist, that's obvious, he's admitted to that, but this specific instance, who the fuck cares? Especially within wrestling. This is a political issue, not a wrestling issue. So why are all the wrestling channels covering it? I know why. The views. Fuck off. Ricochet. Fightful Select have confirmed, or they say they've confirmed, that Ricochet has signed a multi-year deal with AEW, and I believe he will be at All In. This is disappointing for me, because they set things up with Bron Breakker for Ricochet to come back, right? They set it up so Ricochet could come back, defend his honor, and probably potentially beat Braun for the IC title. I don't think that last part would happen, but it was a way to get Ricochet over. Apparently that's not the case, but they wanted to try and actually put him over while he was leaving. In a way, it drew interest in Ricochet. Which made me think that maybe, hey, he hasn't left, and this is all a little bit of a work. Apparently not, according to Spiteful Fightful, because Sean Ross Sapp says Ricochet's signed with AEW for multiple years. So, again, this is going to be another guy going to AEW, doing a couple of things, and fucking off to Rampage or Collision. I don't see Ricochet being a big player in AEW. I just don't see it, because one thing they're not good at in AEW is character development, okay? And when you're not good at character development and you've got someone that's good at wrestling but needs character, that's not a good mix. You know what I mean? He needs character, personality. That's what Ricochet needs. Maybe he has that within him, and maybe he's not been allowed to show it. Maybe we'll see it over in AEW. But I personally don't see it. I don't see it at all. I see him having a couple of matches with Ospreay and then going to fucking Rampage. That's what I see for Ricochet. But yeah, it is what it is. I think it's a stupid decision by him. What else are we supposed to do? And speaking of Ricochet, man, if I was Ricochet, right, and I'm going a little bit off topic here, if I was Ricochet and I saw the things that Samantha was posting online, right, I don't care how she looks, man. I'd fucking get out of my fucking house now. You know what I mean? He looks like a massive cock. He does, and you've got to admit it, right? I don't care about my body, my choice, and all that shit. I mean, have some respect for your significant other, and it works both ways, okay? Ricochet shouldn't be posting ab pics for the women, and Samantha shouldn't be posting ass pics for the men, okay? It gets some engagement, sure. But if I was Ricochet, I'd send the bitch on her way. You know what I mean? No. Don't do that shit. But it's not my relationship. So, yeah. Leave them to it, I guess. A new wrestling promotion is coming called Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. I don't know too much about it. I know Scott D'Amore's involved from TNA, or used to be from TNA. But the voice of this show will be Mauro Ranallo. I hope I pronounced that right. If you don't remember him, he used to do SmackDown Live. Mamma mia, Tope Suicida! You know, that guy. There's one, shut the fuck up. Tope Suicida, oh my god, mamma mia. Fucking stop. Right. No, obviously he's a good commentator, he is. He's a little bit too much, but he's good. Now, I'm excited for this promotion. I'm hoping that I can watch it somewhere without a VPN or a paid subscription. Hopefully it's on YouTube. I'd like it to be on YouTube. I can watch it then, fine. But I've got a feeling it's gonna be on Fight, and I'm gonna have to pay a subscription, which means I ain't gonna fucking watch it. I ain't paying for Fight. But hopefully this new promotion has their head screwed on. I'm hoping they know what they're doing, because as we've seen with some promotions that have risen over the last few years, they've not gone very well. NWA Power, they've had their issues. MLW have certainly had their issues with not paying people and all that stuff. And AEW certainly have had their issues. So hopefully Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, which certainly reminds me of a Maple Leaf Grappling from Wrestling Empire, hopefully that goes well. Hopefully they can do something that the rest of them haven't been able to do and garner some interest from people. There isn't bad faith interest, right? If you know what I mean, like AEW. But speaking of AEW Dynamite, 698,000 viewers. This is their go-home fucking show for All In. Okay? Go-home show, 698. What a fucking joke that is. Well, what's the excuse this week? Dave, what's the excuse? I haven't even checked what Dave said. I don't give a shit what Dave says. But 698, this isn't good. Obviously, it isn't good. And the worst thing about all of this is that Bryan Danielson is potentially retiring this weekend, right? Potentially retiring. So, people don't even care for that. People don't care. People don't care about MJF and his gimmick, which has actually gone over with me a little bit. I watched his interview with Cultaholic, and I actually enjoyed that. I thought everyone there did a good job. I thought Jack did a good job, even though I don't like Jack. I thought Jack did a good job. I thought MJF did a good job. So that character's actually gone over with me a little bit. But with the general audience, apparently not, because 698, people don't give a shit. And I keep seeing pictures of Tony Khan, right? And he's wearing a Warner Brothers Discovery hat. He's wearing a HBO Max hat. He's trying to throw these things in to keep people talking. And the thing is, still nothing has been announced. They still haven't come to a deal. WWE got their deals sorted pretty much immediately, right? Why is AEW taking so long to get a deal done? If it's so big and so massive, why is it taking so long to get things done and announced? Okay? I don't understand it. I don't understand why everyone seems to think that all this is happening. And Dave Meltzer put out this fake analysis from apparently leaked Warner Brothers Discovery document, which wasn't a Warner Brothers Discovery document, it was fan-made. So that's another L for Dave. But AEW Dynamite is a sinking ship. AEW altogether is a sinking ship. I think even if Tony Khan left and sold the company, there's so much bad stigma on them, so much stink, that I don't think nobody's interested anymore. Nobody's interested. Apparently Saraya's contract is coming up soon. I don't see her sticking around because she's stuck on Rampage doing fuck knows what. Her brother Zach was signed, and I actually like him, but he's been thrown on Ring of Honor. Why? Why would you throw him on Ring of Honor? Is he even going to be at Wembley? I don't think so. So, who cares? Who cares? That's all I've got to fucking say about AEW at this point. Who cares? Their championship, their main championship, the AEW championship, has zero prestige or importance. That is something that is detrimental to a company when your top championship doesn't feel important, and the AEW championship doesn't feel important. They got off to a good start, but over time they just fucked it up. Now the mid-card championships are more important than the world championship. I don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind the booking of AEW. The Young Bucks, where the fuck are they? Apparently they're taking time off. Apparently they've gone part-time as the tag team champions. They've got no competition themselves. I mean, the Acclaimed, who the fuck cares about the Acclaimed? The Acclaimed were over as fuck a couple of years ago. Now their reputation has been tarnished because Max Caster is a fucking idiot. Anthony Bowens likes to tell people where he likes to put his penis. And nobody cares. Nobody cares. I don't care where Bowens likes to put his penis as long as it's in a consensual adult. And I don't care about what Max Caster has to say because he's a fucking idiot. I don't know if he plays a character online, but it doesn't align with the character he plays on TV. So, anyway, AEW 698, we've got All In this weekend, and nobody fucking cares. They've sold 50,000 tickets, but again, I ain't watching it, I ain't attending it, I don't fucking care. And that's about it. Like, subscribe, follow me on X@crossman25. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.